how's your place, Michael?
Um, I as always, I'm always sort of torn about how to like point to these things, but I'll just say, I mean, people, in the orbit, people are dying, and you hear stories that are just abominable,
Mm-hmm.
frankly. Um, I think that obviously the blame is never on the first responders, doctors or nurses or anybody like that, but there's going to be another thing that when we fall out of this, not only the big picture things like the decades long assault on public health care or Andrew Cuomo trying to cut Medicaid, but we're going to have another really serious look at these hospitals and even things, frankly, in a crisis where it's horrifying and really bad things are going to happen, even with the best efforts. I still really wonder about some of the stories I'm hearing about, you know, not being transparent with families, bodies being moved in ways that are, you know, at the very least, you need to be communicating with people and showing some empathy.
Oh yeah.
Even if that is like a necessity. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that stuff's important, and I've also been losing sleep over, the degree to which Bernie promoted the way Joe Rogan said he would vote for him for president. So I'm personally struggling over
Losing
that.
sleep.
What was the social media strategy around Bernie in Joe Rogan saying Bernie was the best Democrat? That's really what's haunting my dreams.
that's the kind of thing when I'm looking at somebody, speaking on FaceTime about having a family member snatched from them, not knowing where their body is. I'm really wondering how you could clip a Joe Rogan video. And probably this is really the time to talk about that right now. I mean, that's actually a good thing to talk about because it's like, this opportunity to reset really is an opportunity universally to just stop bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I can't, whether we're thinking about power and politics and at some point we have to build a competent left. We don't have a left that's fit for power. We don't have a left that's in place right now. And that's a major problem because the center is dead and utterly toxic, and the right is obviously toxic and dangerous and also much more intelligent and effective than the center and has like a plan for the moment. And in the best of times, I would totally disagree with those takes, obviously, because they are really insular and they are really stupid and they don't lead to anything. But in this moment, it goes from like wrong to horrifying that people could even just be like that could even be occurring in your head, like all of these, same conversations and controversies and freakouts. But I think they show. I mean, I think they show that some people who do some good work are still gonna generate some really, 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 really mega stupid and delusional takes. And I think other people, obviously, like in the Democratic mainstream, are just, they're just cynicism machines, and that's it. I mean, there's just nothing else to it. And frankly, it shows that a lot of these people are really comfortable. Like, they don't need Donald Trump to lose. They don't need anything to happen. This is mostly just like an aesthetics play for them.
Yeah, I mean, just like when I have gotten on Twitter over the past couple of days, it's really shocking to me to just realize how trivial so many of like the popular conversations that are going on. It's like we engage in those more or less on a certain level just because it seems like those are important. That's how some people are making their decisions, which is ridiculous. But that's the reality. But the fact that we're in this moment, this very frightening moment, as you were saying, people losing their lives, people not, I have people around me who are very frightened right now because they can't get unemployment.
Yep.
They don't have access to income right now, and they essentially have lost their jobs. You're talking to people and realizing the kind of screwed up world that we're living in. It's amazing, actually, to see people trying to relitigate the most nonsensical criticisms of the Bernie movement, and also of a different standard than any other politician in history. Like, what other kind of politicians having to run around and basically like trim and cull their supporters, right? And saying like, well, I like these supporters, I don't like these supporters. No, it's like the point is to win people over. you know, and in our world is to win people over with politics and messaging and ideas that are progressive and move people forward and are beneficial. I don't know. It's such a ridiculous double standard, and I think you're right. It does show how trivial, and I hate to use the word privilege, but you know, just like out of touch and just living in a completely different
Delusional,
Yes.
privileged, stupid, out of touch, insane, demented, embarrassing,
Like-
literally anything.
The idea that I would take seriously a conversation of sort of political manners of a mass movement from people that are paid by CNN, like Bakari Sellers, for instance, right? Bakari Sellers going off. I didn't know he was recruited straight off of Morehouse campus when he was student council president by APAC. Like I'm sick.
I mean, he hangs out with you know. There's a picture of him with Sheldon Adelson.
Yeah,
it isn't even. It's just.
Jesus.
Which, and by the way, also like Joe Biden. I mean, you know, Joe Rogan. Like that literally was the point, that Bernie can win a type of new centrist voter, and Biden can't.
Right.
There you go. You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.